talking about the Supreme Court setting aside CBN's Naira redesign policy, ordering that the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes remain in circulation until December the 31st this year. Despite the court wronging the president's broadcast, Nigerians are still skeptical as to who to follow. BKO.
Yes, because this judgment came on Friday. Uh, I expect that by Monday, things will have crystallized. People will have an idea of where we are going. I am happy for one thing. Mr. President has been put in his place. All of the people supporting Mr. President because they thought his action of redesigning the Naira would hurt his party or would not allow somebody that they do not like to win the election. They do not have any conscience. If you look at the way people were dying, look at the punishment or the pain inflicted on our people because of this useless Naira swap policy. It's actually not Naira swap, Naira confiscation and Naira repainting. That's what we've seen. We've lost lives, we've lost buildings, lost property, but the CBN governor continued to insist that he will carry out a program that its implementation has clearly failed, thereby inflicting pain on our people. So the president, in evident arrogance, despite the Supreme Court's intervention, still went ahead to say that they were no longer legal tender. Now Supreme Court has shown the president that yes, you are the president, but you are not a traditional ruler. You are not a king. Our nation is governed by laws. The Supreme Court has shown that the president should have consulted before taking the decision. You can imagine that in taking that decision, the CBN governor did not even tell the finance minister. How can people be behaving like this in Nigeria? And now when the Supreme Court intervened to say, let those old notes continue to be legal tender, the president came out. And we have people like Dati coming out to say when El-Rufai decided to obey the decision of the Supreme Court and told the people to continue to spend the money, Dati was telling us that amounted to treason. I mean, this is someone who naturally went to school. The Supreme Court, he didn't do that. He behaved like a military ruler that he was between December 31, 1983 to August 1985 when he was dethroned. So now, whether they like it or not, the Supreme Court has taken its decision. Let us see whether they will not obey the Supreme Court. There are still many Nigerians who still have these old notes in their houses. They've not been able to go into a bank to change their currency. There are many Nigerians. When the same CBN told us that we could take the money to the CBN offices, look at the thousands of people that jammed the CBN offices with the intention of exchanging their money with new ones. And I warned at that time that the CBN will not be able to cope with the deluge of people who are yet to get their money exchanged. Because in many parts of our country, in more than 400 out of 74 local government, we do not have banks. You are traveling to Kano from Zaria. Once you get out of Zaria, there's no bank until you get to the fringes of Kano. Look at all that, all of that stretch of the road. So it was a policy designed to make Nigerians suffer. At the end of the day, what did they even achieve? They said they wanted to stop vote buying. Did they stop vote buying? The answer is no. I know individuals who spent dollars during the election. It was stupid of anyone to think that you could just overnight stop gold buying. How are you going to stop gold buying? That's not the business of the CBN governor. Face your own work. The work that you have given, you have failed spectacular at it. Instead of doing your work, you are bothering yourself about vote buying. There are many ways by which Nigerians buy votes. Sometimes they give people rice, they give people spaghetti, they even give people rams, especially if the election is close to Salah. So in this election, people were arrested while going to share money to voters on election day. One was, remember the PDP lawmaker that was arrested with dollars, $498,000. And you said they were going to, who told them that it is only Naira that they use to buy votes? Of course, they can use any currency. Any international currency can be used. So we just suffered Nigerians for nothing. Emefiele continued to lie against the banks, that the banks were not sharing money, that they were hoarding it. And he knew in his heart that he did not supply enough. Now, Nigerians moved against the banks and they were setting banks ablaze. Ultimately, I am confident that the will of the Nigerian people will prevail. The Supreme Court's order will be carried out, except if Emefiele wants to go to jail, because he is climbing on the back of the president. But he should remember that the president will soon leave office, and he still has a case with the DSS. So he has to watch his back. The president will soon leave office. It's just 3 months or so to go. It's not even up to 3 full months. The president will leave office. So he has an obligation to obey the decision of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court assumes jurisdiction.
Absolutely.
And passes judgment. That judgment has to be obeyed.
Right. Right.
No Nigerian president can be bigger than the highest court in the land.
Absolutely. Right. Let me take one or two comments. Fabian Akeze says here again, why have the governors continued to blame the AGM and CBN governor rather than the president for the consequences of the policy? And Mark Oyaide says, is the practice of most people to deflect blame from the president. The term the president was deceived has been used for too many times. Also other comments here was some people are still talking about the Obi losing the election. But then one of the questions I want to ask, based on something that you said, was that some of these banks were attacked by people, anger were directed to these banks because of the shoddy implementation, the bad implementation of the Naira Redesign policy. Who pays for this damage? Who pays for these attacks? Who pays for some of these bad things that happen to the banks and some other places? Should the CBN or the federal government be found wanting for this?
I don't know. There has to be some conversation with the Apex Court. I don't know. The bank buildings are insured. Because they are insured, I'm sure that the insurance companies will step in.